stop solving your clients' problems. You're not very good at it. They're not going to own it. It's not going to transform them. They're coming to you to get more than a problem solved. If they were coming to you to get a problem solved, we should call you a consultant, which is what you are, not a coach. I'm Brian Miller, Executive Director of Coach Approach Ministries. And how can you avoid being a problem-solving coach, of which there is no such thing? I try to think of the whole process instead of thinking about the problem as the problem. Dare I say, I try to think of the client as the problem. They cannot see the problem with a wide enough lens to really understand the problem, to have the ability to solve the problem. So I'm going to try, I think of a lens on a camera as has an aperture. That's how wide open the lens is or how small. When your client comes in, their lens, the aperture is really tiny. There's not a lot of light coming in. They can't see every corner of this thing, or certainly they can't see a 360 on it. So 3 ways that I help them think differently about the problem, and instead of me looking at the problem, is I have them look at the problem in the future. How do you want this to look a year from now, or 2 years, or 2 weeks? I don't know the time frame. You have to get that from the listening, or put that right into the hands of the client. Let them decide. But most clients are right in the present, and they cannot see. Coaching is getting from where you are to where you want to go, and getting them that time frame helps them to understand where they want to go, which will help them solve the problem. A second way to do it is to shift the perspective. Your client is looking at the problem through their own eyes. They only see the problem from their perspective, and there are lots of perspectives. So you can shift the client's problem to have them think of it through, their neighbor's perspective, or their boss's perspective, or God's perspective, or their spouse's perspective, or their enemy's perspective, anybody else. And in fact, again, a good coach wouldn't choose what perspective they would have, but help them. That'd be part of their process to get an idea of what's the best perspective to take, and to take a look at this issue. It opens the aperture for them. The third way to do it is to look at depth. What makes this important? Why have you brought this, of all things, to the coaching today? To get an understanding of the depth. That uncovers more likely the real problem that they're trying to solve. It may not be a problem of, this or that. It may be a problem of culture, or a problem of understanding, or a problem of motivation. It could just be a different problem than they think. So that's how I think about, it's how I avoid trying to solve the problem myself and asking for more information so that I can do it. But instead, I use those tools to open up the person to be able to solve their own problem. Be sure and subscribe so you don't miss any of our great content.